Lights out, faithful. You already know it's your boy EE, and I needed to make you aware of Low Tide City, which is happening May 11th through the 12th in beautiful Round Rock, Texas. That's right, in the Kalahari Resort. Listen, head over to start.gg/Low Tide City 2024 because you can use the code LIGHTSOUT20 to get $20 off of your registration, or hit that QR code that you see right there on your screen as well. Again, enter that code LIGHTSOUT20 to get $20 off of your registration, and we'll see you there, man. Whole Lights Out squad, get ready. One. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an emergency episode of Lights Out. This is episode number 50, brought to you by our friends at Prize Pick. Use codes Lights Out for a $100 prize deposit match on your download on the app. We've got a lot to discuss, and we don't have a lot of time to do it, at least not with Light. So Light, we have interrupted his booty call or whatever he's up to give his...
I'm not at a booty call. Shut up.
My bad. To get his 5-minute dissertation and soliloquy on what took place at Kagaribi. It was a bloodbath for the Americans, for the Europeans. Anyone not Asian was blazing. They got lit up. It was terrible. Like, you watched that whole tournament. We watched it together, actually. You're in my stream. What did you notice? Why did America get cooked and cucked?
Hey, how's it going, everyone? I fell asleep at Losers Finals, first of all, and that shit was wackest. And all I gotta say is, I mean, most of the invaders were Mexican, so I mean, we don't really gotta claim them. That's all I'm saying.
True.
Like, they're North America, but they're only American when it's convenient to us. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
Explain Zomba though.
Cue the low tier god clip.
Sorry, Mexican.
Oh my God.
You said explain who?
I said explain Zomba.
What did I say in your chat, Phil? I was like, I don't know who her Rob is, but he needs to get his Rob back in the sticks because this sucks.
That's true. He was trash. Actually, if you indulge me for a second, Light sent me a text message. I want to explain. Do I have permission to read this text message, Light?
You have permission to read the text message.
Okay. This is an excerpt. This is a conversation between Light and Zomba. And it says, consent. With consent. And it says, so you all got shafted. That's what Light said.
With consent. To
which Zomba replied, I'm only going to events that cover everything and are drivable, or my girlfriend's going to. The sponsorless life. Continue the journey and win something. Something huge. I will be rooting for you. To which Light replied, okay, LOL.
What, bro? What? Bro. All I have to say is, I had no genuine reaction for that because you know what? I've been in this community for so long now. I'm used to people giving up around me or disappearing. Damn. Hell, all my friends are gone except for like Cosmos in the gate, like in the competitive stance. And you know, we found new ones, bro. Bro, everyone always disappears, bro. What's another one, man? Everyone's gonna quit on me. I'm gonna keep going. That's all I have to say.
Okay, well, how do we take down Japan, man? What's the secret?
It's you. Bro, I said this. It's you. Listen, like I'm gonna talk to you right now. Don't say whatever you're gonna say right now. I'm gonna talk to you right now. We are going to invade. All right, we're gonna have a boot camp. You, me. We don't need nobody else. It's gonna be you, me. We're gonna fight. We're gonna grind. First of all, you don't even need it because whenever Japan comes here, you will shaft them anyway. But we're gonna go there and we're gonna show them what the f- is up. Because I used to be on Japan's side, but after seeing that, hell no, I love Zachary. He got fourth. That's real cool and all. But I don't give a f- He's not American, and I can't see us be getting shafted like that. All right, you're our last hope now. All right, I got 17 when I was there last time. I did pretty well. I was cooking some of them. All right. I can take some of them out for you, but I need you there too. All right, we need to go there and show them what the f- is good.
Okay, let me tell you. If I go to Japan, I'm going to do very well out there. Yes. I'm telling you, this is how it might happen. I think Japanese players are very good. I think a lot of them are skillful. I still think the tier list does matter though, and I think a lot of them can gimmick a lot of people. But I think the longer you are there, the more you'll get used to it, and whoever is actually better will end up winning more consistently, bro. And I think the key for a lot of people, and this is gonna sound real clowny, I don't know if people are gonna believe me or not. I think the key to beating a lot of Japanese players is just going to your weeklies, bro, because these guys are playing a bunch of characters that you only see in weeklies and losers brackets, bro. And a lot of people don't know the matchups that they're losing to. Like Sparkle losing to Toon Link. This does not know how to fight Toon Link. I'm like the only American
100%.
player other than Zamba
And me.
who goes to their weeklies consistently. But Zamba doesn't even care anymore because he's her Rob, not his Rob. I don't know what's going on with that. That nigga I don't know. At least like, but yeah, no. So I'm just saying, like, people need to start learning these matchups. Obviously, like the best version of those characters, the best Toon Link, the best Banjo, they're all in Japan. But if you learn the core of these mid tiers, you're going to learn how to beat these players. You know what I mean? And I feel like I'm personally pretty ready for that.
That's
listen. I understand what you're saying about people that are that go there. If they are there for even longer, they start doing better in Japan. But I'm telling you, you are one of the people. It doesn't matter if you play a Japanese person for the first time, for the 10th time, for the 13th time. It don't matter. You'll beat them every single time. All right. I feel like you're one of the people that can go to Japan and start winning as soon as you get there. Spargo did it. All right. He went to Kagaribi last year and that was his only tournament. He went there and then like the next day entered and he won through losers. He still lost in winners. I don't think that would happen to you because you even played. He lost to Yauda. You played Yauda for the first time in America and beat him. I don't know. The only Japanese player that I feel like you struggle with is Shuton, and I think that's a personal thing and a matchup thing. But other than that, you usually shaft. You even be hurt, and that matchup you do struggle with sometimes because you've lost to players like MBD. But if you go there, you just got. You got the Japanese download, bro. You got them.
But go on.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, well, it's been close. But I'm saying, like, you still don't like the snake matchup.
Before.
You still don't like the snake matchup, and it's been close. So I expected that to be like a match that you could lose, but you still didn't lose. That's how I know you have the Japanese download. You don't need a whole month there like Zamba did in order to get 9th place, and he didn't even copy. You would win.
Yeah, and you know what? Most of those players who went there to Japan, everyone's saying like, "Oh, we lost," but those players are going to come back and probably be just as inconsistent. Probably not Spargo, but I'm calling it.
Damn.
Yeah, damn.
I'm disappointed, bro. I'm very disappointed in my community.
I'm disappointed.
I'm very upset with the fact that they. Go on.
Yo, no, I'm disappointed too, and I was also rooting for Zachary, but in the midst of watching Zachary, I saw Spargo fall early. I saw Meister like throw away the Dormigi set. I saw Leo lose early to Steve when he had a lead and he threw away that. It was depressing, bro.
But I will say, like Hurt is incredible. That Bayo player, yes. I think the Bayo is very good. I think a lot of them are really good.
Wait, the Bayo player?
This is never.
You talking about Tama, right?
What?
Yeah, okay.
Tama P.
Tama Perk 30.
Yeah.
That P stand for Perk 30. I ain't know about that one. Like, keep thugging.
Pushing P. He should have been pushing P. But yeah, no, so I think he really good. I think kind of changes me. I think a lot of them are really good. Honestly, I think they're amazing. But I mean, everyone's talking about how they're doing. Do people not realize that a Japanese player has not won an American event this year? No one's talking about that.
Ooh, yeah, and guess who was the closest, and guess who was the one who stopped him?
Me.
Yeah, exactly. My goat. Now you're my goat. All right, Leo. He's still like go, but he not my goat. All right, he's so go. He's not my Spargo. He's so cool. He's so cool. No, he very cool. Everybody else, you're the one that cleans up and protects America. All right, you are the American goat now. And listen, I know you were saying that in the other podcast that you don't really care about going to Japan because you want to claim number one in America first. But why does that even matter now? This is definitely a regional thing now where you are the one who defends. You are the best player in the States right now because you're the only one who doesn't fold to the foreign players that come over here and try to steal our luxury tournaments and get first place here because you always stop them. So you're the one who defends us the most. You're the most important player to us. So that let's go to Japan and let's win there.
I'll tell you what, man. I'm almost there. I got one more thing I need to do. I beat Tweak, and I really happy that I beat him. I beat Sonics, and I gotta keep doing that. But he's not even America. That's an NA thing. I'm better than Zomba. All I gotta do is secure my bag versus Shattuck, and I'm the best in America.
I got you,
and
bro.
Once I got
you. My corn coming back. I'm not. My corn coming back.
I am not the best player in America right now. I can humbly admit that the best player in America is Shattuck, and that is very true. And he's incredible, but I'm not far off. And no one beats me forever. I will figure it out.
Yeah.
And once I figure it out, maybe I will go this year.
You know what?
I got you, bro.
Hold on. I do want to say.
But if I go to Japan, time out. If I go to Japan, I'm not going for one tournament. I'm staying there. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm staying for at least 2 weeks because I'm going to learn. Like, I'm deleting Twitter. If I lose, I lose, but I will not come out a loser. I will come out in those top 8s.
And we're gonna jam it.
Yeah, I'm down.
I like that.
All right, bet. I guess I'm leading the storyline. Let's do it.
Look, Light, I want to say when we organize this revenge tour on Japan, okay, it's going to be you, Shattuck, Tweak need to be the U.S. reps that get over there at the same time. All right? We got to send you over there like the
I'll be there too.
And Cosmo, the NA Avengers right there. And I'll be what's that with the eye patch? I'm going to be him because y'all going to have a leader who can delegate and encourage and make sure you all keep your heads
Nick
on
Fury?
straight. Yeah, I'm Nick Fury. I'm Nick Furious because I'm mad. All right? I'm going to be there and we going to stop up to oblivion.
Let's declare this arc. Let's declare this arc the Japan training arc, starting with Gamal and LTC.
It begins.
And we'll start with the Civil War, baby.
Dawn's early light, so proudly we
I'll talk to you guys later.
The twilight's last gleaming. Bye-bye, light. The stripes and bright stars to a peril. Wait, come back. The episode's still on. Guys, hello? Guys? Oh, hey, what's up? Hey, how's it going?
You jammed. I'm not taking it that far.
I got really pumped up. No, that was great. I'm glad Light let his patrioticness shine through and his determination to win and be better, chat. We, Lights Out, will lead the charge and spark the revolution that puts the light back on the NA dominant scene, specifically USA. Mexico, y'all can get it together yourselves. You figure it out. But you still my dudes. But obviously, lot to unpack there. Thank you, Light, for joining us briefly for that. I want to talk about some of those results. I want to deep dive a little bit. I want to discuss some of the things, because we didn't just get here by happenstance, okay? We didn't just get here by happenstance. I want to discuss how we got there. So let me bring up a results page. Let's start with Delta, okay? This isn't Delta. That's, okay, hold on. Let's start with Delta. No, this isn't Delta. This is Delta. Yeah, Cola 1. Okay, let's start with Delta. Chat, Cosmos, do you know that this event, it was basically the huge opener, like a P-tier opener to Kagaribi, which would follow a day and a half later. Cola won it, followed by Mia. The standard big two right there. Then you had Shuton, Tama Perk 30, my boy Snow, Akakakukasuki, Raru, and Level 1. These...
Now I approve of you doing that.
What? These are who made up your 7th places. I'd also like to point out that a Steve player name, an Aegis player named Carmelo, Ken, Hurt, and MK Leo were 9th place. All right, so right there, what does that show you right there? Japan dominance started early, Cosmos. When you saw those results, what was your opinion? What did you think of Delta?
I mean,
Delta 8.
There's a couple things I want to talk about, actually. So first of all, this was the first event. First, I'll just mention I wish Light was still here, because this is the event that he was talking about, that it turned from a P tier like back to an S tier or something, and then back to a P tier mid tournament or something like that, where like since Tama P got top 4, it transitioned into a P tier because of that. So it turned out that Akola won another P tier or something like that happened, which was really stupid. There is absolutely no reasoning for that to be real. Like the fact that Tama P got 4th place, so it turned into a P tier because of that, that's stupid. I understand like the reasoning for like wanting events to be consistent, but that made absolutely no sense. I don't think there's any ranking system in the history of the universe that has been that stupid. So I'll be talking for life for that, and just get that out of the way.
That is stupid. Hold on, I do want to point something out. It is stupid. It's actually, it make you want to bang your head against a desk. For example, let me show you this real quick. Did you guys see the ending to to Mia and watch it? Look at this. Look at this. Doink. Look at this. Doink.
That motherfucker died. He died. He's not. I can't believe he was at the next tournament and won. I mean, maybe because he played Game & Watch, there's nothing in there, so there was nothing to hurt. But
I don't know what was Blood doing down there, bro. What was Blood doing down there?
I love Mia. He funny as. But yeah, I mean the way that he lost that match was that was pretty unfortunate. The fact that because Mia had it calculated, he knew that he was going to back air, and he was either going for the trade or the hit before the back, because back air starts from the top and then it goes in the arc down. He was going for the chair after the up air to stuff Akola out, and it was obviously gonna kill because they were at both very high per set. But the fact that it stalled out Akola for long enough to where it would make the chair whiff and then also still have an active hitbox to punish him, that's the Sakurai really loves in this game. That's why he's saying this is supposed to be a party game, but we're gonna disregard that. Dang. It was still a very good set. It was reset game 5, so it was pretty cool to watch. It's always interesting to watch them duke it out. Other than that, this was the first tournament where I was also with Light on, okay, well, most people that go to Japan for the very first time, they usually don't have a very first great tournament showing because they have to get used to the meta and everything. So everybody got shafted basically in the sense of like they didn't get top 8. Leo was the highest placing foreigner, I believe, like 9th place. Spargo right behind that with 13th, losing to the Dunkon that I lost to, that people were clowning me for losing to, by the way, and then he ended up 2-0ing Spargo in a very convincing fashion. Yeah, so now it's not just a Dunkon that beat me, he beat Spargo now. All right, he has the label gone now. But yeah, other than that player is definitely really good too, because he also almost 3-0'd Leo. Leo ended up reverse 3-0ing him to get to 9th place, I believe, which is still a very good showing for him. He's a very good player, so props to him. But yeah, after that Spargo lost to level 1, the Toon player, which was also very controversial for a lot of people, because it's like, how do you lose to Toon as a Cloud player? That should be one of Toon worst matchups. But that just goes to show that it's hard playing against these characters in like a tournament setting, especially like early on. It's a 2 out of 3 setting. He lost to the Donkey Kong player in a 2 out of 3, and then I think he lost to level 1 in a best of 5, and it was game 5 or game 4. And
game 5.
He lost game 5.
I thought it was game 5. He poked him and killed him with that.
Yeah. It's like
I thought it was game 5.
Like he just dropped.
Oh, it's game 4. Game 4. My fault. Game 4.
Yeah, like Spargo was winning game 4, and it was supposed to go to game 5, but he like just dropped his shield, and it wasn't fast. It wasn't short enough time for it to be a parry, and the up air just killed him, which is pretty crazy. But that just goes to show that like if you're not ready for these characters, like said, if you're not going to your locals and playing these random matchups that you might not see in a major setting, because people at majors play very good characters, you're gonna be caught off guard, especially against Japanese players, where the gimmick of Japan is everybody is a character specialist, but because everybody is a character specialist, they all know the nuances of other people's characters because they play all the time. So everybody knows the Cloud matchup, everybody knows the Tooling matchup, everybody knows the Shulk matchup. That's why the results are pretty skewed, because everybody knows how to fight every character, so people just be losing there and winning there. But if you're someone who goes there for the first time, everybody's gonna know your matchups, you're not gonna know their matchups, so you're just gonna start losing. So that's definitely what Light was pretty much explaining in like their play style that you have to get used to, because they are definitely some corner players and you definitely have to get used to that. But yeah, like the fact that that's how things went and there were no foreigners in top 8, it was
None.
I thought we were gonna shake it up at Kagaribi, but it just got worse.
It did. Well,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
The fact that like Meister was our last hope was telling to me, honestly, that I was seeing him go up against Doramigi. I was like, oh no. And then after if he did beat Doramigi, he was gonna have to play Zachary, which Zachary farmed me at last Genesis. I'm like, oh no, it's a wrap. There's none of us getting top 8. None of us getting, and I love Meister. He's really fun, he's really cool, and I do think he is a pretty good player. But you're not beating both Doramigi and Zachary back to back. I'm sorry, you're just not if you're playing Game of Lost.
And props to Meister for having a good run. You can only play who's in front of you, so he did really well. Right, you can only beat who's in front of you.
Top 16.
Yeah, if you swap out Meister and you put in MK Leo or you put in Spargo in that spot, do they make top 8? Do they beat Doragimi and beat Zachary? What are your thoughts on that? Just curious.
Leo doesn't. Leo's worst matchup in the game is also Minmin. He hates Minmin with a burning passion almost as much as I do.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. I mean, he could beat him because Leo can honestly make anything happen. But also, the thing about Spargo is that the thing about Spargo is that he tweeted recently that he doesn't really have faith in himself to be like as good as he thinks he should be, or also be the number 1 player. And it's also like one of the main issues is his confidence in his character lineup. And if you don't have confidence in your characters when you're playing in a 3 out of 5 setting, you're going to get blown up and exploited. That's just how it happens. So especially against a character like Minmin, against his characters, Cloud, Aegis, Corrin's pretty good against Minmin, but Doramigi actually 3-0'd Neo early on in the bracket in losers, so I don't know if he would want to go Corrin in that matchup. You have to have confidence in your game plan and your character, in general, and your skill as a player to beat Minmin, the best Minmin in the world, in a best of 5. And even though Spargo is that skill of a player,
hold on. Void is interested in maybe joining the conversation too.
Oh shit! I mean, I know Void was watching the whole
computer.
Damn, that would be lit. I actually want to know what.
Do you want to
go? Come here.
Huh?
Come here.
Come on.
Get in.
Get up there.
Okay,
let's talk.
Cosmos is set up.
Okay, I'd like to see that.
Yeah,
I can bring my chair right here.
We're gonna add him to the group. Perfect. Nice. Continue your soliloquy, Jim.
But what the f are you talking to?
I want to see if you say anything.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, so like yeah, if you're against Minmin, it's pretty hard. Unfortunately, I love Zachary. He's one of my favorite players. I do think he is the Japanese GOAT, which is why he can get farmed at Delta and then show up at Kagaribi and get top 4. He always does well at Kagaribi, and I love that. He got 3rd last time I was there at Kagaribi. He got 4th this time. But I do feel like Leo and Spargo are the 2 players that he struggles with the most. So I'm not sure if he would have beat them. But I just don't really think Leo or Spargo would have gotten through Doramigi to even make it to Zachary.
Okay, that's a very fair point. I was just curious what you're thinking on that. Okay, well, that was Delta, right? Or no, that was Kagaribi.
That was Delta. That was Delta. Oh, no. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. Okay. That was our kind of like synopsis of, if you swap, one of the good Hispanic players and the other, you never know what could happen. There's a lot of different ways things can go around. Void, hello.
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
One sec. My camera's being funny.
You're fine.
Funny guy.
Light didn't have a camera either. It was fun.
I have standards.
Damn. This motherfucker Light doesn't have a house.
I know.
He can't even stand for himself right now.
Low key, bro. I think he recorded from his car again. It was.
Dude, my camera's killing me.
It sounded like he was at a bar.
Probably. I'd be at a bar too, drinking, trying to forget what I saw yesterday. Those pitiful performances I mean, for
Exactly
the
what
love
I
of
was thinking.
and I was just like, we're not even tapping on everything. So the greatest run of the tournament for Kagaribi, as you all know, was Zach Ray. Okay,
100%.
it was definitely Zach Ray. Okay, but I thought it could have been Leo, and then he lost to Snow. Did you see the fashion in which he lost to Snow? Loses game 1 with Byleth, proceeds to stay Byleth.
It was disgusting.
Up 3 stocks to 1 on Hollow Bastion, gets a crack, dies by up smash out of shield, then gets a quick Mario combo. Okay, whatever, it's Snow, he's godlike. And then chokes away the last stock, gives up the worst air dodge ever, and gets spiked. And then it's like, okay, goes to Roy, wins with Roy. Game 4, up again, an insane amount, and misses the J or confirm, and loses.
There is a point where Leo, he was shitting himself. I saw him do the spar dodge on stage and he got punished. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to see this. And then he just kept getting jammed.
Void, I'm glad you're here because you watched the entirety of this tournament as well.
I watched everything that I didn't watch the Kagaribi pre-local, but I watched literally everything else.
What as somebody who is just as prideful as me when it comes to our NA brethren,
I actually am.
What did you think about the performance of those players in Japan getting their asses beat?
I was really
Full
sad.
honesty.
I was really sad last night. Yeah, no, I really expected us to do better. Delta, maybe that was the wake up call, and I was full on that was the wake up call. But yeah, when it came to Kagaribi, I was like, going into top 48, we had one player in winners, Meister. Everybody else was in losers, but like thankfully we were all on different paths, and then we just melted. Everybody except like
Goblin and Meister.
Goblin, Meister, and then if you count Gluto, Jazzo, and Gluto, which I was counting Gluto. Right. Because just,
we needed
it. I had to go from USA to NA to foreigners, you had to keep moving the goalposts because we were just getting jammed that hard.
At some point, I was trying to claim Snow as in
USA Mario,
he was playing
baby.
USA Mario. I was like, shit, we need some, and then he lost to Gluto. Like,
yeah,
that was tough.
Yeah, I wish we did better. I really do. I have faith that we'll do better.
Now let me hold on. Is this just blind faith or is there a reason? Okay, just making sure. Just making sure. Okay.
Okay, but how this is what we were talking about, right? Like right when the episode started. I believe that Light is the driving force of the American pride in order to beat the Japanese players. Because whenever the Japanese players come here, Light usually always takes them down. Whenever Yauda came here after he beat Spargo and he's like started popping off, Light beat him pretty cleanly. It might have been game 5, but game 5 was also clean. Like, I don't remember the last time he's really lost to a Japanese player that just came here for the first time. The only Japanese player that he usually struggles with is Akola and sometimes Shuton. Shuton and him go back and forth. And Mia, because that matchup is really bad for him, but he still beats Mia every now and then. So everybody else, he usually just destroys. So that's why I was like, we need him to go to Japan so that we can prove that we do have somebody that can stand for us.
I think I agree to a point, because I feel like Light is the driving force because our other NA driving forces got shut down. so it's just like, all right, Leo, we got Spargo, boys. We got Spargo. Oh, we don't got Spargo. I mean, Leo's the GOAT. We got the GOAT, baby. Oh, we don't got the GOAT. All right, Light.
That's fair.
As much as I have a ton of faith in Light. Don't get me wrong. Light's amazing. But I feel like that might also be a part of it. For what it's worth, I think historically I've done pretty good against Japan. Even recently, like I don't know. I should not have gotten 17th at a super duper major. I just fully agree, or I fully believe that. Yeah. But I feel like Light, the best way to put it, Light just plays American, bro. Light plays American, and he's very good at playing American, He's very fast. He understands how to get the reads. He can react very well. And even nowadays in top Japanese play, you don't see people doing it like how Light does. Even in top American play, you don't really see that nowadays. And I know, I guess everybody has their own theories on why Japan like it could be harder to get used to the Japanese people, or maybe like they know the matchup better than you. I think there is a play style diff that comes into play, and Light is one of the best at doing it. And I think that's why he's really good when it comes to fighting Japan.
That's right.
That's true. I think Light in general, unless you're playing a matchup that makes him play a little bit different, like Ice Climbers or Steve,
you gotta make
stuff like that. Yeah, you gotta make him be like, oh, I can't just run over you. But if you're playing just like a base game kind of character where it's like the game plan is pretty straightforward, Light is one of the hardest players to play for the first time and the second time, honestly, because it's still hard to just figure it out. And there's not really many foxes out there. And even the foxes that are out there, they don't do it anywhere remotely close to the same, not level, but the way Light does it.
I completely agree. Even more so, I do watch a lot of Japanese Smash personally. And this weekend I got to watch a lot of Passeriman, a lot of Kaninabe. And I mean, even when I watch Light, I don't agree with everything he does, but clearly, I mean, he's just a beast. And then when I watch Kaninabe and Passeriman, I'm like, they're not doing some of the stuff that make me really pissed off when I play Light.
Yeah.
And it's like, at least to me, I'm like, it's so easy to do. Light does it all the time. But
yeah,
I guess that's just not the case, Like, he's the best fox for a reason. And when it comes to being able to have that title as somebody not in Japan, I think that's a very big deal.
Yeah, that's true. It's interesting because I don't even know how to explain it, but like because I've played both of them, obviously, and I've beaten both Passeriman the first time I played him, and I beat Kaninabe twice, to the point where I made Kaninabe switch off Fox and play me with me swordsman, and it was game 5 after that. Yeah, he did not want to play me with Fox anymore. That's how bad it was. It was game 5. It was basically last hit, but I still won. Okay, I still won. But yeah, like for some reason, and this is not like to like put down their playing anything, because they're both very good players with any character that they play, because they both have secondaries. Passeriman has a Diddy-Kong secondary, Kaninabe has a me swordman secondary, so it's obvious that they can play other characters and they are very good with those characters. But when I play their Fox and then I think about how I play Light or play Light's Fox later on, there's like layers of pressure that you feel when you play players. Yeah,
there's like when you play them.
Yeah, when I play them, exactly. I feel like I'm barely somehow able to stay above water when I'm playing Light. But when I'm playing Passeriman and Kaninabe, I feel like the water is at my ankles and I'm not really struggling to stay afloat at all. So that's something that Light can do to pretty much every single player that he does with Fox. Doesn't matter what matchup it is. It's just the pressure that he emits when he's in game, and like how much pressure he puts onto your shield whenever he is shield pressuring you. He forces you to feel like you have to play as fast as him. And when you are playing as fast as him, his reaction time is so good that he can react to you playing that fast. That's why he's so good.
Listen, I think it's pretty obvious that Japan has evolved again, and they're in a rock, paper, scissors type scenario now with Akola, Mia, and now Hurt. I know Hurt got 9th at, Delta 8, but I mean, I swear, 9th there is like freaking first here sometimes. It's freaking crazy, okay? But he got top 3. Leo is the GOAT. He is the GOAT.
He got 9th.
That 9th was solid. That 9th was solid, Leo. That 9th was solid. Sonics, I see you. Sonics, I'll see you. We'll have you after Void. I see you, Sonics. Okay, but what must be said, okay, is it an ego thing? Has NA been humbled? Is this what's happened? Is this what's transpired? I must confess, I was surprised Gluto did so well. Gluto had been getting his ass kicked for a while, but then I was like, oh, okay, well, Gluto finally mastered this new controller he's on, and he almost made top 8. He almost took it, but that generational talent down there, Ken, held it down, okay? Couldn't get past Ken. But his ego, the reason that people are not playing as hard online, going to enough locals, talking to each other, putting themselves out there to get on the same footing because when I watched that tournament, let me tell you something, I couldn't believe it. I swore I couldn't believe it. I was like, there's so many people. I was like, look at this crowd of Japanese people. They're all so excited to be there. They're supporting each other, supporting the event. I loved it. I loved the camaraderie. And I was like, but they don't know They don't know that we got our own Godzilla coming through the stomp his way into that top 8. I'm talking about Spargo, and then he got like 33rd or 25th. I said, what the fuck is going on? How do we fix this? How do we change this?
I've been looking at Twitter a lot.
Godzilla minus top 8. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's us. NA. No top 8s. Anyway, I've been seeing Twitter talk a lot about what it could be. I don't know. I don't think it's ego. I think ego is a very easy thing to throw around because, clearly we're prideful. Clearly we have types of egos, right? But I don't think ego is necessarily the reason why we may have fallen behind. I know for a lot of people, it might just be like lack of interest. A lot of the top talent here has stopped playing for one reason or another. It could be like money. There's a lot of reasons, but I don't personally think it's ego. What do you think, Cosmos?
I don't know. I don't know if I would really say it's lack of interest because even though it seems like the game, you could say it's like on a downhill slope right now, just slightly. You could also say it's not. It's just more so stagnant and it's not really growing at all. But even though it's not like on an upward slope, I feel like this is some of the most that everybody has collectively cared about wanting to get better and wanting to be good at the game. Because I see a lot of people going to a lot of these random tournaments, like tournaments in North Carolina, tournaments in Texas that don't even really have that many players going, but they want to go because obviously there's like a prize pool and stuff, but they also want to practice and get better for the major tournaments that are coming up. I personally do feel like ego does play a factor into it, but not in a way that you would think it does, but in a way where I wouldn't say like they're too like the US has too much of an ego or US players have too much of an ego, but I feel like Japanese players just are completely humble and don't care about anything, because there are even times where like they don't get embarrassed by anything. There are Japanese players that will even ask me or DM me for questions or advice on how to play matches or stuff like that. Like they'll use Google Translate and ask me, because there's a point where Shuton asked me for advice. There was a point where I don't remember who. I'm pretty sure it was Goryoka, and I was like, why are you asking me? But I still helped him, which is like because he had no shame in asking me. I'm not sure if it was Goryoka, so I'll have to double check on that. But I do remember that Shuton asked me for advice when he had to play SkyJ, and I gave him advice, and he ended up winning. So yeah,
damn, you fake as hell, bro. I thought you represent Mexico.
That was a long time ago.
You a op, nigga.
A long time ago.
You a op, nigga.
Put me on this shit.
You a op, nigga.
Podcast right now, and I'll make sure links go to Japan. All right, so shut your dumb ass up,
nigga.
He really is an op. He's gonna make sure Light doesn't go to Japan.
But I do think that it is an ego thing, because a lot of people definitely aren't like. There was a point where I was at Level Up Expo, and I wanted to warm up for bracket, and obviously it's a thing where like if you are gonna play somebody in tournament, you usually don't play them before bracket, so you usually try to play other people. So it was kind of hard to find people to play at Level Up Expo to warm up for a top 16 because nobody wanted to play.
And it's a heavy tournament, right?
Yeah, and it's like people were already playing each other because they had to play. Like, funny enough, the person that I could play, obviously not before top 16, but I played the entire weekend, was Light. Even though we knew that we had to play in top 16, we didn't care because we had bigger goals. But like,
that's the gang.
Yeah,
We've
but like
always done that.
Yeah, exactly. We don't care. Yeah. But I went up to Lima and asked him to play, and he just said no. I was like, okay, well, that's how you feel. And then I asked Louis Money if he wanted to play. He was in loser bracket, and he was like, I don't know, because I actually have to play loser of you and Light. If he beats his first match, which I don't remember who it was, but it was like pretty convincing that he was going to win that match. But he also said no. So it was hard to find somebody to play at that tournament. I ended up playing Mr. E because I feel like he's also in a scenario. What the?
How long are you streaming?
I'm not streaming.
How long are you doing the podcast?
Probably like 20, 30.
Tell him I said hi.
20, 34?
Yeah, Void said hi.
Boy. Yo, I'm about to upload my song if y'all still on.
Okay.
But
Wait,
all I
what?
gotta do is
Wait, what song?
He doing a
Song
diss track
contest
to
thing, right?
Drake. Yeah.
yeah, because that bitch stole my joke, so I'm about to roast him now, and y'all can react to it. I'm about to do I'm doing the subtitles and lyrics right now. I'm putting the that he stole right next to my video. That is gonna be on a loop, bitch ass. So if I get done in time, you have to watch.
We got you, bro.
We will. I am sat. Okay.
But yeah,
perfect.
my whole point is that it is harder to find people to play at tournaments oftentimes because they don't want to give out their secrets. That is a thing, and they don't want to. They rather not play you and not like get the practice, and because they want to beat you in bracket. People in Japan seemingly don't really care about that. They'll play you, they'll always help each other. And I do see that sense of camaraderie way more in Japan overall than the overall American scene. There are cliques like that, like me, Light, and Void, and people like that. We always try to help each other whenever we have questions or have to play someone. But that clique, that like kind of camaraderie between us doesn't extend outward throughout all of the states, basically.
I like it, and it makes sense to me, and I'll take it. So that was one side of the coin. As my roommate and my good friend and fellow Japan tournament viewer, Void, thank you for your time and your insight. It is appreciated, my boy.
We need you there for the next time too.
You weren't including me in the convo,
Coach Void.
I'm out. Y'all dipped on me in January. No, wait, Cosmos was there.
I was there.
Everybody else dipped on me in January.
Hey,
I hate all of you. Until you guys buy your flights, I ain't buying my flight.
Fair.
They're gonna plan the whole trip.
That.
They're like, yo, we're going to this tournament, we're going to that tournament, this Smash Fest, that Smash Fest. We're gonna go eat yakiniku on this day. And then like 3 weeks before, yeah, I'm not going. Yeah, no, I'm not.
Nah, I gotta
watch my dog. Okay.
He
needs a house.
He did say that.
I know. But all right, I'll see you guys.
All right, buddy.
See you later, bro.
Thanks so much.
Yep.
Exactly. I don't think he really plays Sonic or not. I don't know if he plays Japanese players as much in general whenever he goes to tournaments in America. Like, I don't know how often he gets paired up against him, but I know that whenever he's played against at least Mia and Akola, it's been pretty much of a wash in his favor pretty much every single time. Maybe not a wash, but it's always been like we expect Sonics to win.
Yes, that is actually very accurate. And I expect him to answer the call at some point. Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, he said
he'll be on the bit.
He said he's taking care of some business, so he'll be on the bit. All right. Well, brief intermission while we wait for Sonics, which I know you guys are very excited for. It's time to talk about the sponsor of today's video. The Blood Path in Kagaribi was not done for free, and our friends at Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with over 5 million members. Now look, America's got to be #1 in something. Why not make it Prize Picks? It is the most fun, exciting way to get on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. You just pick more or less than 2 or more player stats for a shot to win up to 100 times the money, 100 times your cash. That's big dollars, chat. That's big dollars. Unless you're competing in Japan because it's just for pride because they don't pay for money. That's crazy. May is a huge month for esports, and all of it is on Prize Picks. Cash in on all the exciting esports action this spring, including Counter-Strike's IMEE Dallas, the League of Legends Mid-Season Invitational, Toronto Ultra Cup, Call of Duty Majors. Hell, there's even some Smash Brothers in there somewhere. I'm testing my skills right now on Prize Pick because this season it's the most exciting way to play daily fantasy esports. And if you got the skills, you can turn $10 into $250. And I promise you that's a good down payment on an Airbnb in Japan because we got to show up and show out. Now make sure you download the app today and use code LIGHTSOUT for the first deposit match of $100. That's the first deposit match of $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy with Prize Picks. Thank you. That's right.
That was a good one considering last week's one. That was way better.
First of all, last week, if everybody is aware, I was very sick last week. Okay,
you were sick.
I was,
but it's also very funny that because I have your stream open, the fact that you can do an ad read and then I can get hit by ads during your ad read. Like, damn, that's unfortunate.
If you actually,
it doesn't matter.
If you actually think about it, it kind of goes hand in hand together. It makes perfect sense. Now, guys, we have done a lot of discussion. We opened up the show. We had Light here talking for like 10 minutes, called in, talking for 10 minutes about what we witnessed in Japan. Then we had our good friend of the show, Void, call in and tell us what he witnessed from his perspective. And now, once Sonics gets off the toilet, he too will call in to the show and we will get his opinion and perspective. But before he does get here, I do have a question for you, Cosmos. Do you think the best answer that NA had was Sonics?
Like, what do you mean had? Or has now?
No, I mean just in general. Like, was he the best pick that could have stopped with the monotony of that Japanese top 8?
No, I think it was
all Japanese top 8 twice, by the way. Crazy stuff.
I think it's Light. Because if you even look at the bracket specifically, Light, he should beat everybody in that bracket, with like the exception of Akola, maybe, but I still think he has a very good shot at beating Akola.
You don't think the same for
No, you're right. The thing is, like, I don't know how Sonics feels about it because I haven't really seen him against a Snake player, but I do think that Hurt would could considerably be one of the characters that he struggles with, being Snake. And obviously, like, the fact that obviously they don't play the same, but Japan does have a lot of Sonic experience, not in the same way that they have Fox experience, because Ken does way better than the Fox players there, and they have to play against Ken. Ken also goes to like the locals all the time. So the fact that they are experienced against Sonic would make it a little bit harder for Sonics than it would for Light, because Light's skill difference of character knowledge for Fox is it's basically leagues above from Kaninabe and Passerman, just the way that he plays Fox versus how Sonics plays Sonic the way Ken does.
We got to talk about how Kaninabe basically, I don't know what's this man, they talk about a fall off. I don't even want to say a fall off. It looks like he's falling back into like just a regular 9-to-5 job. Did you see this man now? The hair's not styled up anymore. It's got no more color to it. He's he's just like another bot out there. I'm just
damn.
Like he looked so plain
heck?
Jane. Like
he's another bot.
What a Kaninabe's hallmarks was he used to stand now. Now it's just like they done broke his soul, bro. It's kind of crazy when you think about it.
I mean, I don't know. That's something that
have you heard any intel on what's going on?
No, I didn't even see Kaninabe in person. Like I saw that he beat Jazzo, which is also pretty upsetting for our US pride because that matchup is supposed to be horrible.
And Jazzo just went game 5 with Light at Level Up Expo, so you should be able to close that out against Kaninabe Jazzo.
All right, Uncle Karen. But I agree with you though. So yeah, that was pretty upsetting. But yeah, I don't know what's up with him. I didn't know there was something going, but he hasn't been doing as well as he was like the end of last year when he was like popping off and stuff like that. Hopefully he does bring it back. I know that he can do pretty well. He's still like the Fox that is definitely closest to Light. But it's still not really that close.
It's not even close. It's a gap. It's a gap in this. As far as Light lives from Kaninabe, that's how big the gap is. Hate to burst your bubble, okay? But it's time to let our next guest burst on to the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sonics.
Oh shit!
Hold on.
Yo.
Sonics! Hey, there he is. What's going on, kid?
Going well. How are you guys doing?
We're doing fantastic.
As good as we could be.
Yes, that is a perfect way to describe our life.
Don't you lie to him after what we saw yesterday.
That's true.
Yep.
Look, Sonics, okay? First of all, before we even talk about the Japan thing, I have to ask you a question.
What's up?
You won that tournament in Texas, right? CECC, you won it over Jackal, Lima, Mr. E, names like that, right?
Yeah.
So how come, I was there doing the college thing, right? And Light was there too. So I have a question. Mm-hmm. How come you told Light the tournament started at 1 o'clock, but it started at 12? Did you sabotage him on purpose? Because he got DQ'd.
Listen, man. That's fake news.
Is it?
He asked me, he was like, you know what time it is tomorrow? I was like, because we're playing friendlies, and I was like, they said 1, but I'm not sure. Like I said I got a crew battle, and then I'm playing like right after. Like I think they told me, and they did tell me, like literally my esports manager for my school told me at 1. Which I did play at 1 because the collegiate cruise ended at 1. So I mean, technically I wasn't wrong. First of all, and second, that's literally what I didn't say it all that. Like I said, I'm not sure, but I prefaced by saying I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
So self too. So you know what I mean? Like I would not sabotage him. Matter of fact, when I saw he got DQ'd, when I got the news, I was thinking about DQing myself, just because I was like, this is literally why I came here for. Like, you know, but
Okay.
it sucks that.
All right, 'cause I thought you might have pulled like, you know, one of them light, you know, them things from what's it, from Death Note, where you just do that. You say, yeah, 1 o'clock, and then like the evil stare, like.
Well, okay, this is unrelated, but what happened to Mutis? Because he entered pools.
What?
So he
Mutis got sick. Quiet. We must keep focused, Jim. That's the problem with you American players. You can't never focus on the task at hand. Sonics, we've been discussing the bloodbath that took place at Kagaribi in Delta. What are your thoughts on Japan smacking the out of NA's finest?
Man, I got a lot of things, but if I speak, I'm in big trouble. So
speak. There is no filter on this podcast. Talk your shit. All right, I already talked my talk yours.
Listen, we can say any words we want on this podcast. Look, I'll prove it. Nairo. All right, now go ahead. go ahead and talk shit, King.
Okay. No. I think that obviously, like, Japan is ahead of NA in terms of skill. Like that, there's no debating that, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's unfair to like put people in a box and say, oh, the entirety of NA, a whole ass continent, is worse than a country that has like some of the best infrastructure in the world, some of the best transit, like ways to get to tournaments, some of the best tournaments, period. Like some of the best venues, a bunch of locals. You know what I mean? And a scene, above all that, a scene that constantly supports their, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, they support each other. Like it's constantly looking to improve themselves.
Yeah.
Which I'm not saying that it doesn't happen in NA, but the way it happens in Japan feels a lot more organic. I think this is the way to describe it. And you may be thinking, oh well, how does that even like? What impact does that have in the gameplay? Well, it's easy. Like top players have, or not top players, lower level players have more access to top players because they get to play them at their locals, because top players just go for the sake of competing and the passion for the game. And overall, like, I don't know. I think they're just more disciplined, man. And I think that's I don't know if it's a difference in culture and mentality, but I feel like Japanese players overall are more disciplined and are willing to do what it takes to win, and are much less of complainers than Americans. Like they, you know, I don't think I've ever seen a single Japanese player, like top player, just lose and then go to Twitter and be like, damn, this character is lame, ban this character, or I can't do anything against this character. Like they're always like, oh man, I lost, but it's okay, we'll try again next time. And they leave it at
always
that.
Like, this player is strong. Thank you.
Yeah.
This player is so strong. That's what they always say.
Exactly. And yeah, and I also, to add on to what I was saying earlier about ego, I think it's an ego thing, 100%. And not that most people may be thinking, but rather, dude, how many people invaded Japan? Like, how?
I think overall, like 8 or 9.
Yeah, we had a lot of people
from North America. It was Jazzo, Goblin, Base Mage, Leo, Spargo, Meister, and Big Boss. So that's 7, I believe.
Okay, 7. And I guarantee you that.
And then Gluto was there.
Gluto was there, right? And I guarantee you that, and this is no shade and no disrespect towards anybody that went there, right? But
Zamba too, our Genesis champion.
Oh, Zamba Big D, right? Yeah. So like 10 overall, basically.
10. Regardless, yeah, like I guarantee you that most, if not none of them, actually like studied up for the relevant Japanese players. And like that's what I was saying. It's like you can't expect to go to a different country, and just win by pure, I'm gonna better player this guy because I'm just a better player. Like that's not how it works. And I think that, and I've seen this, and I've talked to a lot of people about it, like a lot of top players about like, hey, like, listen, man, I'll go to a tournament and I'll ask people like top players, and I'll bring Light up into this because he does not know who he has to play in bracket. I'll be like, yo, how's your bracket looking like? Who do you play? Oh, actually don't. And like literally like before top 64 starts, he's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think, and I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I bet you that those Japanese players did prepare for the invaders, because even if they didn't purposely prepare because they were like, oh, I got this guy coming here, let me look up their habits or the character, they are like well known. Like those NA invaders are well known over here. So I guarantee you they've watched them play enough to the point where they can have some sort of idea of what they're going to do in bracket, which gives them an upper hand. And like, I don't care how good you think you are at the game or how good you actually are. If you don't study for your opponent, like if you as a top player don't prepare and don't study for your opponent, who is a high level player or slightly lower level player than you, but they do prepare for you, you're probably going to lose.
You're just because
exactly, you're at a disadvantage, and you're doing it to yourself. So, and again, I think that's like the main thing in all this, because I mean, I watched some of the sets. Haven't gone to watch all the upsets, but I've seen a few, and I've seen like just players just playing the normal game. Like I don't see any specific call outs in the Japanese players' habits or any like, oh, I'm not gonna do this thing because I've gotten punished for it, or they're specifically looking for this. Like I don't see that type of gameplay. I didn't see that type of gameplay, but I did see it from Japanese players. Like Japanese players, that's very clearly studied up and very clearly had an idea of what to do coming into the set.
I can definitely co-sign that, specifically from the, I don't really know his tag, but the Donkey Kong player that beat Spargo, the fact that there was this one instance that he did against Spargo to win the set that was so simple. All he did was when Spargo was in the air, he was shielding already, and then all he did was just unshield and turn around shield, just knowing that Spargo was going to cross him up. That has to be something that you already know about the player that you punish. That's something that you study and see, okay, he likes to cross up shield with back air in scenarios like this. That's probably why, because they also play the winners. I can understand if you play somebody in losers and you're not really ready for it, because anything can basically happen in losers bracket. You don't know how upsets can happen, but if you're going through winners bracket, you can always prepare for who you have to play. And that was a clear representation of this guy is ready for this scenario against Spargo. And Spargo is obviously one of the most popular players in Smash, so you're obviously going to want to study that.
He's
player.
Also the boogeyman to them, or at least he was. I mean, you know, you got Spargo coming over. You know that, our top players are in trouble because Mia and Akola, they can't beat this dude. I mean, Hurt can beat him, but there's no guarantee that Hurt was
Spargo found us last time.
Yeah, there was no guarantee that Hurt was going to make it to him. But, and as it turns out, Spargo didn't even come close to making it to them. It was actually probably not only a sigh of relief, but it might have gained some side eye from him. Like, the hell happened to this dude? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a surprise for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, how disappointed were you in Spargo's performance? Be honest, because that's been like that's your rival over here, bro. Keep it a stat.
I mean,
or surprised, maybe surprises, I should say.
Him and our friends, and like, I don't really have anything. I wasn't disappointed in the way that like I was like, damn, like I expected you to win, or like, damn, like you're washed. You know what I mean? It was more so in the sense of, like, I understand where he's coming from. I knew it could have happened. Like, I knew, just because of the sheer aspect of uh how fragile his characters are and how fragile Cloud is. Like, I think he should, because I told him, I talked to him before the tournament. I said, like, low key, like, you should go Corrin, because Corrin is just better in this meta. And he was telling me, well, Cloud is my best character, though. Like, I think I can do it with Cloud. And I'm like, well, if you believe in Cloud, then go for it. But ultimately, like, I think Cloud is just not good in this meta. But going back to the question, I mean, I don't blame, like, I am, honestly, I'm sad more than I am disappointed. But, like, I kind of saw it coming, just because he lost to matchups that are not that common in NA. Like, he lost to, except for DK, of course. And I don't know who else he lost to that one tournament in losers. But yeah, like,
freaking level 1, the Toon Link player.
Right. And then he lost to PT and Banjo. Like, I know for a fact he had little to no Banjo experience, let alone like good Banjo experience. So, like, I was not surprised at all. And even then, he managed to keep it competitive. He managed to keep it close. It was a matter of, like, who got the last hit, right? So, like, honestly, like, that's good on him. And then the PT, though, it was a reverse 3-0. I saw it, and I didn't think he was gonna get reverse 3-0, because he started off, like, so strong. He had so much momentum. He was getting spikes too, framing him, like, just reading the hell out of him, out of knowing, like, he was doing so good. And then, I don't know, but I understand, he's young, he's still a kid. He has this pressure. I think, like, the biggest thing with him is he needs to, like, and with most people, honestly, but granted, spectators is a bit different. But as a competitor, if you put a number on a pedestal, you're gonna fail, because everything you do is gonna revolve around that number. And yeah, like, having goals is good, and you should set yourself up for success by, like, having a specific goal or something that you want to do. But if all you think about, I need to go to this tournament, I need to win, I need to get number one, I need to show everybody, like, I'm the best, and then, like, it gets to a point where you're basically pressuring yourself for no reason, and it adds up. And it's just basically like a time ticking bomb. Eventually, when that pressure gets too much for you to handle, like, you're gonna combust. You're not gonna be able to think clearly, and then you're gonna get upset at everything. You're gonna literally get upset in bracket too. Like, I think that's also something that Japan has a bit different compared to NA. Like, obviously, they do care about smash mates, right? Like, they care about climbing up the rankings on the website, but I don't think I really see them tweet about, oh, I want to get PR this season, or, oh, I lost to PR number 1 for 5th place. Like, they just play, they get better, and that's it. I think that moving forward, yeah.
No, I was gonna say, I think if they just play like the way they play is the way I want Spargo to play again. Like, stop. I don't want to hear nothing about this number 1 rank. That shit's done, bro. It's not happening this year, or at least this season. That's off the table right now. So just get back to just playing that beast, that being that beast. I know you can be in bragging, who just play for himself and for pride and for the money too, bro. Forget about the rankings. It don't matter. Okay? They could be number 1 and you could be number 5. If they scared of you, bro, they scared of you for a reason. That's what, you know what I mean? That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. And I think that one of the times where, like, I do agree with you that I think he should, like, basically give it up for the season, but I think he also just shouldn't really make it his priority for the next season either, because I feel like one of the times when he was playing the best and, like, the most, like, I could physically see the most passionate in his play and the fire in his play was when he wasn't trying to be number 1, but he was trying to take a tournament over Leo. His goal wasn't trying to be number 1 at the time. Obviously, it's like, he would like to be number 1. Everybody would like to be number 1, but, like, his main goal was to beat Leo, and, like, trying to, like, having a rival like that and having a goal like that can empower you to be like, it doesn't matter if I lose or win. I want to make sure I am at a level that I can play Leo and grand finals and beat him. You're not focusing about beating everybody or how you're doing if you lose to this player, or how your points are if you lose to this player, or if you beat this player, or if this tournament doesn't get S tier or anything like that, or if you lose at this B minus tier tournament, they're just numbers. But like if you get that, obviously you want to think about that when you go to tournaments, because ranking still helps for like stuff like status and stuff like that, and that is important at some point, but it's not supposed to be your main priority when you're a competitor and stuff, because that'll just having expectations like that will always weigh you down and always put a huge amount of pressure on you that is just not healthy.
Yeah, definitely. And it's I'm glad you mentioned that, because I also noticed and this when I like started to get a bad feeling about the Japan trip and stuff. I noticed that he lost this one tournament. It was a B tier in Mexico, I believe. He got fifth, lost to who did he lose to? It was Alan.
He lost to Mr. E and Alan Dis.
Yeah, and he tweeted like, "Oh man, I think there goes my chances of getting number one this season." And I'm like, bro, like you can't be thinking like that. Like you really just can't be thinking like that, because if you're just thinking about numbers, then I don't know, like I think you should make playing well a priority, because if you make I want to play well, I'm going to play my best, I'm going to keep working on my gameplay, like on objective things, because numbers are subjective. Like right now, technically Akola is number one, but who thinks Akola is genuinely number one? Like if you think he is, fine, but a lot of people also think Sparkle's number one. A lot of people also think I'm number one, or Mia, or Hurt. Like there's so many people in conversation that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Like all you can do is focus on what you can control, and what you can control is how you play, how your game plans are going on, how your set play is going on. Like, are you getting your inputs right, or getting misinputs? You have to work on a different strategy. Do you need to work on matchups? Like, you need to focus on those kind of things, and eventually, like consequentially, then the results will come along too. But if you like just focus, I'm gonna get this, I want to get number one, I want number one, I want to win this tournament, but you don't think about the process and how to get there, then it's not going to happen, and you're just gonna like basically run into a wall and just keep hitting yourself with it over and over.
That is such goated advice. So that let me ask you something. Let me ask you something that I think is imperative for like the whole how we can prevent this from happening again, how we can heal these wounds and go back into battle in several months when it comes to Japan. Because Light said it best, they ain't won a tournament on American soil. Though to be fair, I will admit, I mean, Battle of BC is pretty damn close, but whatever, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Like Hurt won that. Mia has not had as successful as this year, and then Akola just hasn't been here. The next time, Sonics, you have to face off against Akola, Mia, or Hurt. What are we thinking, bro? Are you going to be the guy that reminds these motherfuckers why NA's on top?
Hell yeah.
You can beat them?
Of course.
Because I'm going to bet on you. I'm going to put some money down on you. I need you to say you're going to win.
I'll make you some bank. I'll make you rich, bro. I got
you. Are you gonna join us on our Japanese expedition, the Avengers expedition, where we go over there and show them what the is really good?
Yes, sir.
Everybody pencil in.
That's why this might go too.
Everybody pencil in Umibora, because I think that could be the time where everybody reconvenes this September. That could be the one. But Sonics, thank you so much for joining us and your time and your insight, which is always invaluable, my friend. It was always a pleasure, man.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Sonics, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Well, that was a great episode, Cosmos. I must say, I felt like this was very therapeutic. I got a lot of things off my chest. I am more motivated and inspired for my NA brethren than angry and sad and disappointed. And I don't think I'm going to have to cry myself to sleep tonight.
I think you're still going to cry to sleep. You're not going to forget about what happened because your GOAT Leo didn't get top 8. So I know.
But he got ninth. He got ninth at Delta. Ninth at Delta. And guess who got top 8? Guess who got top 8 at old Kagaribi 12? That little, about 5'5", new LASIKly done, hair about fresh as a daisy, Swag out of his motherfucking mind. Probably with some shoes on too expensive to even pronounce. And I also can't read Japanese. I'm talking about you, Zach Ray, my Japanese goat. Never once did I have a doubt. I said, okay, Zach Ray lost the hurt. Ain't nobody tripping off that. We'll get it back in loser. You know what Pooh Shiesty said, we get it back in blood. And yes, the hell we did. Excellent stuff right there. Zach Ray, y'all are lucky he's playing Smash and not writing rhymes, okay? Cause Drake, you'd have been ended. Kendrick, it'd have been back in Compton. And J. Cole, you're still just being hiding, okay? My GOAT, GOAT, by Zach Ray, 4th place finish. You niggas ain't ready.
Goat Ray. You know what I'm saying? That's Goat Ray right there.
Goat Ray, that's what I'm talking about right now. And this was a goated episode of Lights Out. And if you feel the same way, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, because I like to think the boys always bring the vibes. We'll see you next week. Take care, everybody.